Alright, it's turned from gray to wet. Lily, why don't you cover your head? My daughter still insists we go for a walk. It's been the weather's been kinda like this for the last few days. So I don't blame her. Like, I want to get outside and it's not as cold. It was a few days ago, it was raining and 3 degrees, which is honestly an unpleasant combination. This is the local park. There's the local primary school. Probably so many people live streaming cherry blossoms right now. 1 second, look. I gotta clean the lens. I'm gonna try to keep the lens as clean as possible. It's rain, but well, anybody that's on camera before knows it can't be perfect with that. Oh, there's koi over there. Yeah, koi fish. Do you like koi fish? Do you like sakura? No. I thought you said it was beautiful. I think my daughter's entering the pretty. Oh, it's pretty. Oh. There is the koi fish pond. They're all just hanging out there. I'll drop the water on the lens. Which is actually kind of a nice view. There's the koi fish pond. And then here is the canal. The canal used to be part of the moat for the castle. The castle used to be up there, and it's now a primary school. That's a preschool over there. Yoichin. Yeah. Try to keep the lens clean. Oh, yes. Get that one clean. Like no good way to keep things from fogging. Hello, Retirement Days. How are you? Let's get out to the bridge. That has a pretty nice view. I think part of the problem is the cloth I'm using to clean the lens got wet. We were not expecting rain. We were expecting it just to be cloudy. But now it's rained on us. She's from City Hall. Recognize her. They're gonna have events here this weekend, so they're setting up, cleaning up the area. Oh, there's a dog. So this here, I actually get a better idea of the geography here. So this is a canal here, artificial man-made. It's part of the park here. Now, this canal actually used to be the moat, or part of the moat, for the castle, which was been right up there. That part of the castle grounds, all the way to about the tree, is the pine tree, is part of the primary school now. It actually keeps going. The secondary part of the keep, there's a shrine on now. Usually we walk up there. I'm not sure if we will today with the rain. So this was for the city's canals, would drainage would dump into here, and then this canal was part of the defensive structure for the Mocha Castle. All right. Lily, you okay? My kid does not bother by the rain, it seems. Oh, okay. You want to go straight? Okay, we'll go straight up then. So, if the weather's nice, on a weekend, this place is pretty crowded during cherry blossoms. They're going to have some events, festivities here. I'm planning on going on a hike, which is actually going to be turned into a video, a long-form video, over the weekend, so I probably will not be going. Okay. My daughter likes to go this way. Lily, put your hood on. Rain. Lily, this way. Yeah? This actually might be historically part of the castle access. Let's go up. So a lot of times with these castles, they tried to make the access indirect, twisted. So there would have been maybe a wall or some type of protective structure up there for archers, people throwing stones, musketeers. Well, they were a matchlock. So I guess you'd call them musketeers. I don't know. They made these very traditional grenades that were literally like a clay pot with black powder in them. Big fuse, tie it to a rope, swing it, throw it, primitive grenade. This is a different species of cherry tree, kind of a little more weepy, darker pink, you notice. They always bloom later. On the Izu Peninsula, there's this species that blooms very, very early, if I remember correctly. So as you can see, would not have been the most direct, fast way into the castle. They would have made you weave back and forth, so they had lots of time to look at you, decide if you looked friendly, or if they already knew you weren't friendly, try to put an early end to you. Yeah, siege warfare, just in general, is a terrifying idea, I find. We can look back down at the park. You can see all the different types of cherry trees there. I think, so what happened was the trees started to open up and bloom. It was very, very brilliant. And then we had this cold snap hit, where all of a sudden it drops down to like 3 degrees. Well, one morning, it wasn't even morning, it was late morning by the time I checked the temperature. It said it was 3 degrees, it was raining and cold and nasty, so I feel like it was even colder earlier. And I think that has stopped the bloom. So I'm wondering if we're going to have like a very patchy bloom this year, or that this is all we're going to get and these are going to fall off. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Not ideal. Lily, you want to go wait under there? All right. Well, let's take a look around. So, that flat area there used to be part of the castle. Here's the park. You can see the canal that connects to the Gogogawa. Cherry blossoms, kind of cute. They have an artificial waterfall here. I think they only run it on during cherry blossom season in Obon. And then the flowers continue that way. Yeah, let's take cover for a minute, Lil. See if my daughter's had enough. She wanted to get out of the house. I don't blame her. It's been nasty weather. She's getting store crazy. I'm getting store crazy. Lily, do you want to go home? No? Okay. I'm going to clean the lens, and then we can walk over to the shrine, okay? You want to go over to the shrine? Yes? Okay. Yes. Okay. I didn't bring my lens, which I'm kind of regretting that. Okay, we will go. We will go. Someone is eager. Someone doesn't care about the rain. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not as cold as it has been. So by compare, I think it's 12 degrees maybe. 10, 12 degrees. This feels like warm rain at this point. Wait, take my hand. I'm gonna cross the road. Okay, go. As soon as we start to cross, a car comes. Okay, so this was also part of the castle. I'm not sure if it was one. I don't know. Looking at the stonework, maybe not. It's hard to tell. Sometimes when they cut through the old castles, they rearrange the stonework. Hi, Terry. We are in the rain. But this was also part of the old castle. Kind of big flat area. This area is mostly used here for a shrine. It's pretty common to put a shrine on the grounds of old castles. There's a specific day of the year where the sun lines up with this shrine. I'm not sure what it is. Most of the grounds of the former castle were used to make that school over there. Okay. That looks like it was one big okay, alright, fair enough. So, 1797, so that would have been Edo period. Actually, both dates are in the Edo period. So they actually did quite a bit of So what happened is these would get destroyed by like fires and natural disasters, and they would rebuild them. And a lot of times, how complete, whether it was a direct rebuild, an expansion, or getting smaller, a lot of times depended on the money of the clan, the financial situation of the clan who owned it. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about like what else was happening in the world at this time. You know, what other big things were going on during this? So yeah, 1857, that would have been kind of the late shogunate. There would have the financial cracks that were going to affect the samurai class, and the daimyos were starting to come out. They were losing their financial place in the world. If you want a really interesting story about mismanaging your economy and currency and money, the Tokugawa shogunate, particularly in the last 50 years of their existence, is a really, more than that, is a 50 years really though of their existence. The last 50 years of their existence is a really good story about just financial mismanagement, bad monetary policy, and that affected them and made them a lot weaker. You know, we like to tell this story in history classes of, you know, it was this natural progression that the shogunate was going to lose power to imperial forces. But the thing is that the shogunate lost power because they really could not maintain control of their balance sheet. It was such a huge issue for them. This was just something kind of poor design and poor adaptation to what was going on. The markets changed. Actually, here in Japan, I think the Wako pirates, they were a big thing early Edo period. Actually, pre-Edo period, the warlord period. They were also a huge deal. Lily, come here. Here, hey. What do you think? Is it wet and rainy? Yeah, it is wet and rainy. Yeah. Okay. Actually, there was quite a bit of piracy here, too, at that time. Although the main target were the Chinese and the Koreans. A lot of the daimyos, the lords in Japan, they kind of looked the other way about the piracy thing because they could benefit from it. And they also had sometimes financial connections to the pirates that were operating in the region. So for a lot of the lords in Japan, they weren't really interested in cracking down on piracy. It was good for them. It helped them. One thing too is that kind of officially, technically, after the Ashikaga shogunate, there wasn't supposed to be, from the Chinese perspective, there wasn't supposed to be any trade with Japan. They had cut Japan off from trade, which, they didn't take very well. So their new idea was, well, instead of trade, why don't we steal? And so the amount of legitimate trade that was going on with China was small enough, and Japan was fractured enough at that time that it was just a recipe for piracy. The Wako. How many of the Wako were actually Japanese is a little bit up for historical debate. Historically, they were depicted as being like all Japanese pirates, but it kind of evolved in having Koreans and Chinese involved too. I mean, there was money to be made. Getting coals, all right. That's what I wish there was. A really traditional style cafe that had a live iori. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, Lil? Sit next to the coals, in the fire, drink some tea. Try not to drop stuff into the ash like I did last time. Nah. Let's go back through the park. Lily, we go home. You want a hot lemon or hot barley? Okay, we won't go home then. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I don't know where we're going, but she's decided we need to go somewhere else. What's up? Where do you want to go? Lily, let's not go out onto the big road, okay? The park, this is the end of the park. Do you want to go up? You want to go up? Oh. Okay. I guess we left too soon. Do you want to go home? Oh, that was a no. There's the park. There's our... I don't think we're going to have a very good cherry blossom bloom this year. I think that cold snap is done. Hopefully the wisteria is nice. So wisteria is this tree, and it's a bit of a creeper. So it just will keep kind of growing and offshooting vines. So what you can do is you can put it next to a structure and sort of encourage it to grow certain ways. And that's how they make things like wisteria tunnels. Ashikaga, which is in the same prefecture as me, is actually famous for wisteria. All right, you want to go this way? You want to go? Lily, we just were there. Lily wants to go back this way. Lily, we're still living here in quite a few years. This is the school you're going to be going to, you know. So why do you want to hang out so close to the gates now? Actually, kind of gives you a nice view of the city. Oh, I know. We want to hide out of the rain. Okay. Go ahead, take a seat. Relax. She's had enough of the rain. I think our next... No, stay. It's fine. It's fine. Daijoubu. Yeah, kind of give you a scan of the city almost. So this section, pretty much here, in a little bit, about there. So that is part of the old section of the city. So the castle would have been here, where the school is now. This would have been the old section. So if you actually go through the streets and stuff, they're not as squared off as the rest of the city. They're more of a kind of confusing, worming its way through. There's one old temple left there. There's a few, I think there's one or two Meiji buildings left. I think there's only one Edo period building left. And so that was very busy there. That was very much the market, the commercial area, lots of things for sale. Can't quite see it, but if you go past that way, that area would have been mostly where the samurai lived. And so that was destroyed pretty much completely. There's nothing left from that time period. Okay, we're gonna keep going. There's pretty much nothing left from that time period. So that area, even though today the roads are much more spaced, there's more parks, it's more open. Back in the old days even, it was set up that way. There was more space between the houses and stuff. So it burned down, larger lots. A lot of that was turned into apartment buildings and larger stores, where the older merchant area didn't get destroyed. So the road plan pretty much stayed the same. So there really isn't space for larger businesses. There's lots of small, the city's tried to do a lot with it. It's not the nicest. It's not bad. It's just, it's harder to develop because the roads are smaller, everything's tighter. There really isn't parking spaces or much outdoor space. It's kind of twisty. It gets a bit of foot traffic. So they have a few cafes, little restaurants and stuff, but once again, it's kind of small. So it's not an ideal size space. Loving Cassette that we go to a lot kind of lucks out as far as space because it's deep. The building isn't wide, but it's deep. So the seating in Love and Cassette is deep. Although we always try to sit by the window, but there's only one seat by the window. There's only one table by the window because it's narrow but deep. There we go. We can see the cherry blossoms. Just walking along the school. I don't know why. Lily, you're not big enough to go here yet. And by the time a few years here, you'll be old enough that you're like, oh, I don't like school. It is a nice school. There's no complaints about sending you to this school. It's public, it's compulsory. There's compulsory education up to, I forgot what age compulsory ends here. You're going past compulsory, probably. Now she wants to go back. Lily, we can exit that way. It's fine. We can exit that way. We can go down the stairs. Yeah, see, there's stairs. I think she doesn't understand that there's stairs. Lily. What's wrong? It's okay, Lily. Lily, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, honey. Okay, she's not having it. You can exit that way. There's stairs. There's like a depressed staircase. I don't think she can understand that. Yes, there are stairs. She's arguing that there's no stairs. There's only the gate into the school. Lily, you realize that's the gate closest to our house. You're going to be stuck using that. Yes, you are. Oh, the student's garden is actually really nice this year. Students' gardens it's one of those things where sometimes you look at them and you're like, I wonder how much this is really the teachers. Oh, this one bloomed nicely. I was hoping it was just going to be gray and not rainy. Huh. Security office lights on, so that must be where they are. Oh, I didn't realize that. It's probably too far to see, but the school's crest has sakura blossoms, cherry blossoms on it. Close up. It is. We like doing this walk when it's not raining. Well, I like doing it more when it's not raining. Yeah? Okay. Also very pretty in the autumn. What's up, Lil? What do you want to do? Well, Lily, you can't go into that school, honey. First off, it's closed. Second off, you're not old enough to be a student. I think she's trying to get us to go. She's tried a few times to have us go into the school. I think she's curious a little bit about the older kids. I'm sorry, honey, you can't go into the big kids' school. Oh, here, let me clean the lens. Well, that didn't make it any better. Well, you have plenty of time in primary school, trust me. It's a whole 6 years here in Japan. I cannot get that clean. Oh, actually looks like it got inside the case. Get some humidity inside the case, did we? Let's use this one. Oh, that's better. I think it was cleaning the wrong lens. My kid's still at the I like school age. It is a nice walk, but it'd be so much better if it wasn't raining. It's been raining pretty much every morning. We were like, oh, it's only gray. Yay, we can go. Yeah? What do you think, Lil? Where do you want to go next? We're not going back up there. We're not doing another attempt of you getting into the school. You're too small. They won't accept you. Okay. It is a big school. Yes. Yeah. And you're only 3. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's turned into a puddle. Splash, splash. Let's take a look at the river. So that's downstream. There is the Gogyogawa. That's actually the same river I filmed the swans on. Upstream, there's the rest of the park. We live upstream. My job's upstream. So that's more of where the focus of, I guess, the cherry trees and the festival is. They also use this park for Obon in August, which is the one in Japan where they have the floating lanterns, and families write their wishes, and their ancestors that have passed. It's remembering your deceased ancestors and returning them, because it's so. It's believed that the weeks preceding Obon, that your ancestors return and visit. It's comparable to, Chinese mythos to Ghost Month a little bit. So it ends their visit, and so they return to the spirit world, and so you send them off with a lantern. Okay. So at Obon, basically at night, they have lanterns just like this again, and people put floating lanterns in the water and just release them, and they float on down the canal. I hope he doesn't try to make a conversation. So they're, cleaning up, setting up. Here, let's step off the bridge. So, actually, the bridge has a really nice view during all the festivals, usually. You can see, actually, the bridge, has cherry blossoms carved into it. So, during Obon, when the lanterns are in the water, this is actually a really popular place for people to get a picture or video. I have two. I've kind of post up here a video or picture of the lanterns floating under the bridge. Kind of a cool shot, actually. If you can get this year, really try to get a position over here. Actually, it might be kind of fun if you could get them actually going under the bridge. You know what? It'd be cooler if this was snow. That would be kind of cool. Snow and cherry blossoms. Either today or yesterday, the day before. Because then it'd be like, alright, it's still cold. I almost feel it like 2 or 3 degrees down here. It could have been cold enough up in the air for it to snow. That would have been a cool shot. And then, I prefer snow over rain anyways. Lily, you want to go home? Yes. All right. She's finally wet enough. So we got out of the house and we were actually walking here, and it starts to rain. I was like, Lily, you want to go home? No. No. You want to go home? No. See, there's the stairs. They're kind of a weird disappearing stairs, so it's actually really hard to see them from the school. Disappearing from the board. They're like recessed. Oh, 1 second, Lily. That didn't work. I just spread it around. I need to buy or get those lens cleaning cloths. I bought some before. I don't know where they are. nicer. So not better. Oh, there we go. Good. So we were walking here, it starts raining. I asked Lily, like, Lily, do you want to go home? No. Okay, we'll go walk. All right, I'll do my live streaming playing because I was like, oh, it's nice. It's just gray. It's early in the morning. We'll do a live stream. Because it's been raining in the mornings, we've been doing this walk more in the afternoon or evening. Like last night, we did it around 4 p.m., 3 to 4 p.m. when it stopped raining. All right, also here, this is another classic shot. Now, the camera on my phone, of course, can't really capture it. So what people do is you probably need to really open up your aperture, get lots of light, take a long exposure shot. Oh, I got the long exposure shot. So you've got this is called Nanahan in Japanese. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called in English. I should remember the English name. It's edible, it tastes great. So you've got the cherry trees here, and the cherry trees here. You have the bridge, and then you have more cherry trees going back from the bridge. The pink building is, so that's a temple. It's a pretty old temple. The pink building is one of the temple's buildings. I think that's practice space, because I've heard them perform instruments, for the festivals and stuff. There's probably storage. Most of those, unless you're a really large shrine or temple complex, most of your buildings end up being like 3 or 4 things at the same time. Like, oh, here's where we store things. Here's where the Mikoshi store and the drums. And we also practice the drums in here. Oh yeah, and then there's also financial records dating back like 50 years. We don't consider these ones really important because they're not that old. We keep the old ones in the store, in the safe house, block house, whatever. A lot of them have a stone storage, an old stone storage building that was used for keeping records and artifacts. You want to go to the bridge? Yes? Okay. She's still up for going to the bridge, so we'll go to the bridge, and that might be just about the end. Of her willingness to be out here. So, local companies, groups can sponsor lanterns. It's called Nanahan in Japanese. So if you want to eat it, you generally get it before it opens up. So you see the flowers on the side.
I eat it.
Yes, you have eaten it. Yeah, there. This one is at eating state. It's in a park, so we're not going to eat it. Well, we're not going to eat it. It's at a park. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to enjoy its beauty. So, over here, we're facing... So, canal used as a moat during the old days. That would have been the earthworks for the castle, and then the castle would have been built on top of it. Now it's a primary school. We look this way, which is upstream. Oh, this is bloomed quite a bit more actually. Maybe it won't be so bad. Here we have. This section of the canal kind of draws more water from the city, where this one actually goes to the agricultural area north of the train tracks now. So it's actually pretty deep. It runs by my apartment, and it doesn't actually kind of open up again until you get to the farmland that's by actually the hospital now. So the train was built, so the train line basically runs kind of a weird circle. Do 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 do, and then no there, and then it runs straight towards Osaki Jinja. So it kind of makes a big curve like this through the city from the train station. Now on the because of the way the rail line's been there since 18 something, because of that though, you have basically the city is sort of contained by the rail line. So this side that we're on is built up in the city. Once you cross the rail line, you're still in Mocha City, but it's agricultural zone. It's farmland. It's a lot of strawberries, some rice. What else is there? Strawberries, rice, daikon. Lots of daikon. Do you like daikon? Yes, you do. Water. Lily, do you want to go home? No? Where do you want to go then? Shall we go home? Okay. She just pointed towards home, so I'm not sure. Oh, you want to go this way. Okay, fair enough. We can go home. You want to go home this way? Yes? There. We can go home this way. It's actually a nice way to go. No, you don't want to go home. You just want to go this way? We can take a look. So this agricultural canal, so this is taking the water from the agricultural areas past the train tracks. It runs basically like this. It's got high walls, it's steep, and it's just concrete. Morning, Joshua. How are you? Josh, how are you? It's Uncle Josh. This runs all the way to the train tracks. Then once it goes under it, it becomes more of your standard agricultural canal. We are going for a walk, Josh, by our apartment, and it started to rain. It's not been the nicest weather, which is... What is it? What's up, Lil? Yeah, it's water. Yeah? Yeah? Really? So, we've got... well, it's our time difference. It's an hour later for me than you. Lily, don't put your head over that. But yeah, also, kids get in a habit of like, oh, I wake up at this time for school. Even though I don't have school, I'm still gonna get up. Put your hat on, it's raining. Yeah, it is. We've had, this is, yeah, so, Josh, I think I've shown you pictures. This is the canal that goes by my house. And then it... Lily, come here. Don't trust you near that. You keep trying to put your head over it. And then it flows into this larger canal, which eventually flow to the Gogigawa. But here, I'll show you where it used to be a moat. You'll find that kind of cool. But yeah, plenty of cherry blossoms. Here, let me try to clean that lens. Water keeps getting on the lens. But yeah. So, the canal it meets into is basically all the runoff from the city. And so, let's go for a second. You see how it turns here? This actually used to be a moat. So that built up area of land, that was the earthworks for the old castle. So the castle would have sat on top of that. So you had the moat, you had the steepness for trying to climb up to it, then you would have had the walls of the castle itself. There's now a primary school right there. So that's what's going on here. And so with the abolishment of the Han system, so this would have been the end of the Takagawas, beginning of the Meiji era, the castles were turned over to local governments. Well, most of them. A few were turned over to the central government, particularly the ones that were occupied by the army or the army wanted. They kind of got first dibs on the castles. Rest of them went to the municipalities. Okay, cool. So now we got a big plot of land in the middle of the city. What are we going to do with it? Well, about the same time, at almost exactly the same time, a few weeks apart, they passed the compulsory education law, which basically states that there needs to be schools for children. So a lot of cities took the great idea of like, all right, we're just going to build a school where the castle was. So that's why you have a lot of schools, particularly older schools, built on the grounds of former castles in Japan. Yeah? Yeah, that's what we got. I could have done, when I lived in Walian, some interesting live streams about the history of Walian. Yeah, it's been raining, so it's not as clean. Well, yeah, it is actually, when you think about it. It's funny, because you kind of get spoiled where, it rained a lot, and then I was walking. I haven't been camping since December. December's the last time I'm out camping. Hopefully next month. I want to go back out to Takahagi. Oh, carp fishing. No, not since my last... No, actually I did one time outside of the last live stream. So last week was the last time. My daughter's on school vacation, so it's been a lot of watching her. Not as much fishing. If the weather was nicer, I would be taking her fishing. Actually, sometimes in this canal we can spot some big carp. They are cherry blossoms. I'm thinking that it's not going to be as beautiful and stunning this year as previous years because we had a cold snap this week, and that sort of seems to have stopped some of them from opening because they were starting to open. Then we have this cold snap, and you can see some of them are already starting to drop. Joshua's in Taiwan, actually. I used to work with him. It's raining, so I bet the carp are huddled up by the underpass. At one point, there was this very, very orange koi that must have escaped somebody's garden or got released that was swimming around in here. And last summer, and I filmed a bunch trying to catch him. And I was going to make this whole video, this long video about like going through, oh, there's one, not a big one, going through trying to catch this orange carp. And then suddenly he disappears, which makes me think that someone caught him and kept him. Maybe for their own pond. There's a, this guy's not very big. There's sometimes, oh, there he is. Oh.
Koi fish.
Yeah, koi fish, good job. He's not huge. That one's even smaller. I sometimes see a really fat one in here. Oh, there's a pretty big group of them. Wow. What do you see, Lil? Oh, yeah, she sees them. There's one right there. That might be the biggest one. Yeah. I don't see any real... Most of them look in the 50, 60 range, 50, 60 centimeter range, which is still, you know, a big fish. What's that? Fish. That one, same thing. It's a carp or koi fish. It's kind of funny. So, you know, Japan's got lots of local variants in animal and fish names. How popular just using koi as any type of carp that's not a funa is. Those roots are causing problems. There's a fishing pond kind of aimed at kids that's not that far away that I keep being like, oh, one of these days it's going to be nice, so I'll bring it. It hasn't been. Oh, there's more here. You're right. That one might be big. Yeah, that's a big one. Is that good? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Well, let's keep going. There is more. There's quite a few more. Huh. I was right. They were gonna congregate up here. When it's raining, they seem to hang out up in this section. Yeah, that is a small one. You like the small one? You fish it? Yes, actually, yeah, sometimes you can. It depends on the time of year. I've never, if there's like a festival going on, like there's this weekend, then no, you can't. Oh, look at that one. That one's fat. There's a really orangey one in there. It's not the, yeah, that one's got some coloration. Kind of dull coloration, not like the one you'd see in a park pond. The one I was trying to catch in here was super
This
orange.
one.
Yeah?
This one.
Yeah.
This one.
So you can fish in here. From my understanding, people do. I have. Come on, Lil. When there was a really orange carp in here, I was trying to catch him. Alright, we'll just swing around. So, generally, left side of this road, construction's newer. Right side of the road, particularly once you get off the road itself, the main road itself, is older. Well, I think someone thinks we're gonna feed. I think they think we're gonna feed. Wow, that one. That's a fat one. We're not going on the road. Okay. Actually, if those bloomed up nicely, that one bloomed up nicely. It could be kind of a fun video fishing for him here. I'd do it kind of pretty early in the morning before most people are traveling to not disturb them. Oh, there's one. Oh, that one's huge. You can't really see him very well.
Oh, this one's same.
Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah, that one looks significantly bigger. You probably cannot see him at all on this.
He's on this.
Yeah. Oh. That one's active. Yeah, that one. We used to walk along the river. It was fun last time I visited, just kind of walking along. It was also neat because since I was fishing, I was noticing the fish a lot more. There's a lot of weird, random, not native, invasive fish in that river. There were goldfish, things like that, that we were just kind of like, how is this here? Why is this here? Lily, shall we continue? That is another thing in Japan they've really been, the last few years, clamping down on is the invasives. There's, there's fish that people put in the ecosystem that don't belong there. And they kind of not tolerated it. They didn't really they clamped down on it a lot tighter a few years ago. One of the big ones is bass, which is this North American fish species. So I think the first ones were smuggled into Japan, and then they were smuggled between different places. And so there's only a few bodies of water where they're supposed to be. So, for example, the local river, if you catch a bass, they want you to kill it. There's a local pond, too, that had the same thing. Bluegills, that's another problem. And those were originally brought on purpose for experiments about fish farming. And then they escaped from research and have become an invasive problem. There's actually this place you can fish in Tokyo. It's part of the old moat system, and so it's like cut off. So they have bass and snakehead in there that you can go fish for. And I always thought that sounded kind of fun. You can rent a boat for the day, fish off the boat. I think if you're doing a full day, it's just cheaper to rent a boat than fish off the docks. Do you want to go under the tree first? Go, 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 under the tree, under the tree, under the tree. Oh no! Beep, 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 beep. During the late spring, actually, lots of people fish around this area of the canal. I think, if I remember correctly, the rule is after the bridge. Yeah. Uncle Josh says hi. Uncle Josh says hi. Ooh. That fish also says hi. Oh, yeah, they cleaned out a lot of brush from here. Mm. Bird is the word. Cool. All right. Should we go up? Go across the bridge to go home. And we're back. That's where the castle used to be. I think we've been walking for an hour. You want to go home? Yeah, you ready to go home? Go home? Okay. All right. Josh, have a good day at work. Thanks for popping in. It's always good to talk to you. Man, I'd love to get back to Taiwan. Do some hiking. Drag you along for a hike. That'll be fun. Your girlfriend will think that you're going to die out there. We are going home. This is the way home. All right. On that note, we are walking back to our home. So, If you're watching later, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the park in the rain. And we will see you in our next adventure.